What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. For those who are new here, hello and welcome. And for all of my returning subscribers, hey. So today we are back down to the basement, child. Yeah, it's cold outside. Here in Ohio, we have a false spring before like spring actually hits. So I was really hoping that I would be able to get outside and like do all of this stuff in my greenhouse. However, that's not the way shit is going. So we are back down to the basement, and this week we are going to be finally starting my 6-week seed starts. I am a little bit behind schedule, but I think it's still going to be totally fine because, as I said, like the weather has still been kind of up and down. So I don't think that, I'm way off schedule. So let's first go through everything that I am planning to start today. We are going to get all of these seeds in this tray. And then I also just have a few other tasks that I'm going to take you guys along with me as, we get it done. So let's go on ahead, pull these babies out. This will be the week that I start a lot of my like green leafy things outside of brassicas, so like lettuces, etc. So let's just run through it. First things first, I have some nasturtium. This is the cherry rose jewel. I believe I've started nasturtium from seed before, just not successfully. So I'm hoping to do better this go round. And I went on ahead, I picked these up from Botanical Interest. As you can see, hopefully the lighting's not jacking things up. So that guy, I do want to start more marshmallow. Last year I started some, but I didn't do very good. But I just noticed on this packet, on the back, it says to cold stratify 4 to 6 weeks before last frost. So what I might do with these is sow them in like a separate container here, and I'm going to put these outside to germinate. I think, even though it says start indoors, I don't know, that's so weird. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions on what to do about this. I'm going to start some indoors, and maybe I'll put them outside for a little while. Maybe they'll just have a late start. We'll see what happens. More flowers. I have some straw flower. I picked these up from Fruition Seeds, and this is the cornucopia mix. So I'm excited to have some of these. I heard these are amazing for like dried flower arrangements. So I definitely wanted to grow some of those. We are starting beets, and lots of them. These are the blushing not bashful beets. It looks like it's a golden or white beet. I got these from Fruition Seeds as well. All right, and now for all of the green leafy things that I am starting. First thing here, I have the New Zealand spinach. I got this from Botanical Interest. This is actually a frost sensitive spinach, so I believe that these will do better throughout the warmer months. So I'm hoping if I sow them now, I'll go ahead and have like, if I sow these now, I'll continue to have harvest as it gets warmer. So these guys, Bib Butterhead, one of my favorites. Some Radicchio, this is the Rouge de Verona. And I have 2 things of arugula. So I have a slow bolt, which I'm hoping will last through like the warmer seasons. And then I have the Rocket or Astro arugula from Botanical Interest. Then I have some Indi Frizzy. This is just a beautiful textured lettuce. And then one of my favorites, my gosh, it's so gorgeous, y'all. The Marvel of 4 Seasons. I'm not even going to try to like pronounce it in its French pronunciation, but I love this lettuce. It is so good. It's very beautiful in the garden. So I highly recommend ordering some of this, even though I got it as free seed, which I was really excited to do. But was it last year? I want to say last year this actually overwintered, and so the previous season, so 2020, I sowed it in late fall. It overwintered and came back for 2021, and it was absolutely perfect, amazing. So definitely recommend that. So let's go on ahead and get all of our markers marked, get all of these in this tray, and then we're gonna move on. All right, so we have everything sewn in this tray. However, as I was sewing things and reading the back of some of these packets, a lot of these recommended direct sewing. I mean, with this tray, if they all germinate just fine, then great. However, in the case that they don't all come up, I still have plenty enough time to go outside and just direct sow in my raised beds. So I wanted to notate that. And then also, while we are on the topic of direct sowing, I wanted to show you guys some seeds that I probably need to direct sow really, really soon. Making a lot of noise. So into my containers over here that I keep all of my, like my 6-week starts. I showed you guys all of this before. If you want something more in depth, I will make sure to link a video where I kind of describe how I organize my seed starting giddy ups. But in my direct sowing container, I have a lot of seeds in here that I need to be looking into direct sowing really soon. I'm totally safe to go on ahead and begin sowing some radishes. So I do have some radishes in here that I need to sow. I want to say I should be safe to direct sow some dill as well. Cilantro for sure. I will be direct sowing my sugar snap peas. I have the sugar magnolia here that I will be sowing, and I have a few other. Yeah, let's go on ahead and just grab them because not everything fit nice and neatly in here. So let me see. No, I guess I don't have any more peas, but for right now I could definitely get away with starting these. I just need to soak those first. My spinaches, as I mentioned earlier, I have some spinaches that I can direct sow right now in the ground, and they will do fabulously. The three types that I have here are the Veriflay spinach, I have the Giant Noble, and I have some type of spinach that I cannot describe, or I can't pronounce, I should say. But these guys have like a red stem, which I thought just sounded really pretty. So yeah, and this guy, however you say it. Again, more radishes. I have like a gourmet blend. I have the early Scarlet Globe and the purple plum here. All of those are good to begin. And I need to start my carrots. I need to go on ahead and get a couple of rows of these started. And I will do another succession in 2 weeks, just so I have like, you know, a more spread out harvest of my carrots. I want to say rutabagas says so after the last frost. So these I will hold off on, and then also my cucumbers I will hold off on. But in addition to things that I would direct sow after the last frost, we'll go over all of that stuff later on. I just wanted to show you some things that I will be direct sowing like ASAP, and there you go. All right, next up we have our pepper plants. Y'all, look at how amazingly beautiful these guys are looking. So we have a couple of things to do here. I need to up pot all of these things. So I have my tray ready. I have, what is this, like a 3-inch pot situation that I will be bumping these up into. And then I am going to top some of these just for the sake of space, and also so these guys will be you know, promoted to want to bush out a little bit more. So in addition to this, I also have my eggplant here, which some of these got a little bit of scold here. I think the light was just too far down on them, so I'll probably prune off those leaves, the really damaged leaves, just because, I mean, they're not serving a purpose here. But look at how healthy and happy, look how big that leaf is, y'all. So we're also going to pot these up in the same tray just so we can save a little bit of space. So let's just get into it. Oh, also to mention, I have some potting soil here, which I have amended with some fertilizer as well as some worm castings. So now let's get into it. Yeah. All right, you guys, everything is looking fantastic. However, like I said, I do want to pinch back a few of these just that are like, you know, just super overgrown, because I want to make sure that all of these are getting adequate lighting, and then also to promote them to bush out a bit. So this one here, this is a Pasilla Bajío. This is like the drying pepper. You can see it's already kind of bushing out a bit, but it's way taller than a majority of the rest of these plants. So I like to do my pinching out like when the plant is just a little bit more established. So you can see I took a decent bit off, but these aren't going out for a while, so I'm not going to stress out about, oh my gosh, they look so bad, da, 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 da. No, I think this one will do fabulously. So I'm going to do this same process for this other one here that is quite big and full also. And I'm just using my nail because these aren't quite hardened off yet, so they're not like super stemmy yet. So those two for sure. Some of these just weren't getting really good lighting, so I'm going to be a little bit more gentle. But this guy, I'm going to leave these. The goal is to have at least 4 leaves left over. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves, which is still totally fine. And that was one of my bell peppers. And then this one here is one of the gold Marconis, doing really well, but definitely want to have this one branch out quite a bit. So I'm going ahead and pinch that back. Looks good. And as all of these begin to get like, you know, a lot taller, I will do the same thing to each one of these. This is the Grande Jalapeno. So yeah, this is what everybody is looking like. I need to bring a fan down here. Like that is like top on my list of to-dos this week. I need to get a fan down here. That way these can begin to harden off, and also so I can go on ahead and put them out in the greenhouse once the temperatures are like consistently the right temp. So let's go on ahead, and I need to water these in, and we will put these babies back on the heat mat. All right, and just a quick update on my tomatoes. All of them are up including my itty bitty little ground cherries. I overseeded these because I always have a harder time starting these from seed. And as you can see, I had really good germination. So I will be up potting these once I see all of them with their first set of leaves. You can see some of them are beginning to sprout their true sets of leaves. So that process will be happening probably next week. It is Thursday today, so probably won't get that done this weekend. And here is where I put my lettuces and things. And I added one more tomato to the family. I found some Brad's Atomic Grape seeds in Dollar General, so I did share that with you guys. So I went on ahead and sowed some of those just in this cup, and once I up pot everything, obviously it will join the family. Down here we have all of our basil up, doing good. And then we have our 2 little pots of onions. I don't know what's going to happen here. I might end up buying more sets just so I can have an adequate amount of onions. And then here I have my ranunculus. You guys, I probably should have potted these up already because I did have some sprouting on some of them. And that's probably when I should have went on ahead and potted them up. But I think I can get away with doing that still today. So let's go on ahead and put this over on my little workstation. And then let's take a look at these dahlias. I did see, here I have a little bit of sprouting happening. Now this one was a lot more damaged, so I don't know that anything is happening here, but I've just been misting these in hopes that something will happen. But at least I have one tuber that's doing well, and no action on my raspberry bare roots yet. But y'all, this situation, it's still here. It's still happening down here. My rudbeckia is getting nice and full, getting some nice size. My bluegrass is getting some length on it. This is the salvia, doing really well also. I need to pot all of these up. Snapdragons, bussin'. What is this? My foxgloves. I really need to separate these out. What is that? Oh, it looks like a little seed or something. And the coleus looks absolutely stunning. Really need to separate these out also. So this is still on the list of to-dos, but I'm neglecting the situation. I know I am. I'll get around to it. Fertilizing time. Down to the last drippy drop here. I'm using all of this. Put some water in it. Shake it up. Motussin. If you know where that's from, leave it down in the comment section. If you know, you are my people. All right, we're gonna pop this up in here. Okay, last thing. I'm going to pot these ranunculus corms up, which I told y'all, I don't know if I ruined it or not, but we're gonna put them in these 4 containers here. I didn't want to use a whole lot of soil in the case that I did ruin them, so that's what we got going on here. And I did mention wanting to start some dill, and I said that I was going to direct sow them. However, just for the sake of knowing for a fact that I am going to have dill and they're not going to get lost in the sauce out there, because I do still have a lot of cleaning up to do. I'm going to start some indoors. I'm going to start that. I want to start some chamomile, which is the Zlatilan. These have like bigger flower heads, so I'm going to start some of that. I want to start some more calendula. I know these weren't included in the 6-week seeds, but I want to get a start on all of these things, as well as some holy basil or tulsi. So let's just go on ahead, get this done, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. So starting here, this one looks kind of moldy. See what I mean? I think I ruined it, but like I said, I'm still going to toss these in some dirt and just see what happens. So I have basically 3 to each pot, and we are just going to see what happens. All right, so boom, those are done. Now let's mess around with these. All right, so what I plan to do with the herbs that I have here, calendula, dill, is sewing these a little bit thicker, and I can always just pop these in half, or separate them out. However, just for the sake of saving space and yeah, shelf space, lighting space, all of that, I just want to go about this in the, you know, the easiest and smartest way possible. So I don't know if you can see on my dirty hands, but we're just going to sew these a little bit thicker, not so thick to where it's really hard for me to separate them completely, but hopefully you guys will see what I mean. Just kind of scattered around, and we're just going to take a little layer of soil and pat it over the top just to cover everybody. So that's all we're doing here. So now the chamomile, this seed is just so itty stinking bitty. Hopefully this will be the last time that I will be sewing chamomile, because I want to make sure that it just reseeds itself. So this, I'm sewing the whole pack. Yeah, I'm gonna just go for it. Sewing the whole pack, and I'm just gonna press these into the soil like so, like that. Take a little, the tiniest bit of soil, and just pat it with this stick. We don't need sticks. Pat it over top like so, like that, and there goes that. And now the holy basil. Let me see, I can't remember how small these seeds are. Oh yeah, these are really small too. So same thing, tamper the soil pretty flat, and I'm just going to use this whole packet as well. And then the calendula seeds are a little bigger, so I will be able to place these directly on the soil in a manner, hopefully you guys can see. So let's sow about, I don't know, as many as I can get in here. So, and these seeds, like I said, they're a little bit bigger, and they're just kind of like, they kind of remind me of like worms or something. Just dried up worms, child. So I think I'm going to sow. I think I can can get away with 9. Yeah, so 9 of these babies, and I'm just going to poke them down in the soil and then cover these babies up. Like so, like that. I buried them already, so you can't see. But I put 9 of the seeds in there. So this situation is done. Ooh. Let's go on ahead, using my handy dandy. This is my extra water situation. Put a little bit there. I'm gonna put water in the calendula, the calendula. But the rest of these, I'm just gonna mist over the top just until the seeds germinate, and then I'll give them a really good drench. But because I don't want these to move around too much, I'm just gonna mist the top, and whatever leftover water, hopefully it soaks up on the bottom. All right, you guys, so that is it for today's video. I thank you all so much for stopping by here today. If you enjoy the channel, please make sure that you go on ahead and stick around, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to it. That way you are notified every single time I release a new video. And hopefully the next time I see you guys, we are outside. Actually, that's what I plan to do next, because I do have a lot of stuff to direct sow. So I will see you guys outside, possibly this week or next. But until then, I thank you all again. I wish you health, wealth, and prosperity. Peace out.